Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to Lost Colony in ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I'm back here on my community servers. If you don't know, I host my own community servers. They're free to join. All you need to do is join my Discord, and you'll find all the information there. And me and my tribe have been working on our base, which has a light versus dark theme. So one side of the base is completely peaceful and very light, and the other side is a dark Gothic Vampire castle. Very fitting for this map, I think, and it's definitely had some really good progress over the last week. Much has been done, especially the castle has grown a lot since we saw it the previous time. Of course, I worked on the pagoda on the light side first, but now I have switched sides and I went into the dark castle. I added a little building off to the side, which is also where my little bedroom is. I also helped a little bit by laying down the foundation for the main crafting hall and doing some problem solving here and there. But you can see the castle has grown quite a bit. There's even a tribe tower now, and today we're just going to take a look around the entire tribe base, see what we've been up to, and hopefully help you get some inspiration for your own build projects, whether it's for the light side or whether it's for the dark side. You know, it's all fine. So yeah, as always, if you enjoy seeing videos like this and you want to continue to see more, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and feel free to leave your suggestions for future builds you'd like to see down in the comments below. So here we are on Lost Colony, and if you're wondering about the location, it is located right over here on the map. Some beautiful waterfalls all located here, and we can see this awesome Gothic castle in all its glory. And then of course the light side over here with the pagoda that I built. There's actually a full step-by-step build tutorial for this pagoda up on the channel if you want to build something like this yourself, using of course mostly the Golden Dynasty custom cosmetic. And the chicken man himself has been working on the temple, and if you've seen the last video, you know something has drastically changed here because the temple has switched locations. This tree keeps reappearing and not disappearing again, so it's kind of annoying, and also it gives a little bit more breathing room to both buildings. So yeah, we have a lovely looking temple and a little bit more room to enjoy the amazing views from here. But yeah, the chicken man himself has been very busy here building a lovely temple, and we're going to get an entire courtyard here for breeding, so that is going to be really cool. You can see hard at work here. Well, not at the moment, he's not very hard at work, but yeah, progress is being made. And yeah, can't wait to have the whole room available here, because currently breeding is a little less spacious, let's say it like that. But let's head over to the Gothic castle side, which has received a lot of work. We of course had a little crafting hall off to the sides, but we've mostly completely moved into the main castle now, using CKF, which is of course an awesome building mod, as well as a few different cosmetics like castle craft, the sculpture catalog, the Gothic props I think it's called, and also the crystal structures we have for some really cool effects here and there. Actually, let's go into my little wisp mode so I can fly around a little bit. So yeah, you can see some nice details here and there. Lost Colony skin, of course, in some places. Yeah, some really nice, oh, the walls here, and then of course the main structure itself with some red tints behind the windows and just some really cool designs here and there. So let's take a little look around, and the courtyard right now is quite busy because this is where I'm currently doing some breeding for a tribe. So we have all of these creatures located in this little courtyard, so it is a little bit more busy than it is intended to be. But you can see the castle towering above us and some really cool little details here and there. You can see the red glow here, the red mist, which really feels quite mysterious. We of course have those little buildings to the side here, which I quite like the look of, and the layers that already adds. And now we have of course the two big towers. One of them, that one over there, is the tribe tower with the castle craft cosmetic on it, which really helps you know get the tribe tower going from something all, but also is a nice way to implement something very practical into your designs. And then you can see that Wild mirrored it on the other side by building another tower, which is really cool. Wild has made most of this, by the way. I've just you know, done my little side building, and I don't need to tell you which building is mine because, well, you can clearly see the shark up there, so should be really obvious who did that part. So yeah, this castle, the inside side is not completely done yet, but we do have a fully working staircase with some lovely candles along the sides from the wall and floor deco mod. And you can see there's actually a lot of different pathways, so you don't want to get too lost in here. But yeah, you have these nice big windows, of course, letting in light, and all of these different sections to explore. We can keep going up every layer, and then finally we can make it all the way up in here, which is the main crafting hall, which I helped well, lay out the foundations most of all, and then figure out this starting part. We have some really cool arches here and there, as you can see. We have, of course, our crafting stations worked into here. So we have the mega lab here and the war bench, which of course some of the bigger crafting stations nowadays. But we also have the little hallways leading off to the side. Then this is where the tribe tower is located, but here on the other side is my little house and my little room. As you can see, it's nice and cozy. I've got my my coffin here because, you know, as a real vampire, I need to sleep in there. Then I've got a little pet display for my gloon, my companion. Whenever he decides to listen and lay in bed, he'll be there. And then I've got this lovely cryo fridge with the Australia skin, which makes it looks amazing. I've got my own little phoenix in a little cage. It's quite a cool little detail. So yeah, we have a little room here, but I also have a way to the outside, which connects back up to the crafting hall on the outside. And you can see the build in progress here. We also really seem to have some issues with these guys always kind of showing up at our base, which isn't the best, but you know, it is what it is. You can see I've got a little tower on the top of my house. I still need to paint it. I keep forgetting about that. I've been focused on getting all my skills leveled for Lost Colony. But yeah, you can see it's a nice tiny little house here. We even have some nice windows off to the side here. And let's take care of that guy. There's some nice windows off to the side here. We even have a little like broken wall here where I have some of the Lost Colony textures behind it, which I think is quite cool as a little bit of details. And then we just have the second layer here. Let's go into Wisp again so we can fly around a little bit. So yeah, we can see all the different layers here with the windows, the little details below it, the gargoyles here, and then the little tower on top. I think just adds some really nice layers. And of course, we also have the little shark statue up front from the sculptures catalog, which is really nice. And then combining the Lost Colony structures with these CKF structures really blends in very nicely together, in my opinion. I try to keep the design of my little house here kind of close to the design language being used for the rest of the castle that Wild designed. But yeah, you can see how the two blend pretty well together. And yeah, quite happy with the way it turned out. And the castle in general is starting to look really cool. We have some really cool statues everywhere. And you can see the main part of the castle up there is currently being constructed. Loads of towers are being added. Probably will add a fair few more before it is all done. But yeah, more importantly, we also have our main crafting hall setup. So now we are here. You can see there's a whole survival setup going on here. So this main big hall is where all the magic happens. So before we were down here and we went down into the little corridor there. But yeah, if you take the stairs up, we have the blood forge in here, and then we have our main crafting hall with all of the different crafting stations and, you know, everything that we might need. Nice big windows off to the sides, but also above to get in some natural light, especially at night. That's quite important to make sure that it isn't too dark here, because the room is slightly too big to be able to light up with normal lights without like going overboard. And this is quite a good solution to still be able to do that. And of course, we have some pretty amazing views at the front here with these windows looking over the other side, the light side builds being made there too. So yeah, definitely getting some really cool vibes in here, as you can see. Definitely coming together as a nice castle with a big main crafting hall. And then we have our dedicated storage worked into these archways, which is very nice indeed. Really nice little bit of design going on there. Then we have another staircase going up to the next layer. So we have these little platforms off to both sides that go up to the next layer. We have some of our loot neatly organized over here, which is quite convenient. So we have a pantry right over here, which is where we can store all food and perishables. Basically, it's from the visual storage mod. You can see another one right over there. So it's just a convenient little way to have some extra storage right hidden into these walls. And then of course we can follow up the rest. It gets to the back of the castle. We have a really nice staircase up leading to the next layers, and of course this also leads back all the way around. But we also of course have our back entrance here. So this is up the hill because, well, the castle slowly goes up the hill anyway, so you kind of see it layer by layer. I'm not quite sure why there's a normal pillar there. There might be a misplaced, or maybe there's a skin that's not showing for me. I'm not really entirely sure. But yeah, we've got some really cool towers here on the corners with these spiky bits around the sides, which is really quite nice. Sorry, keep getting attacked. But yeah, we have some really nice spiky bits around the tower for some nice details, and a pretty cool tower in general. We have some nice entranceways here. I love the curves and the spikes, etc. here. Definitely adds some really nice Gothic vibes, and you can see with the red lasers we blend in the Lost Colony kind of vibes. Oh, there we go, the little pillar is gone. Yeah, it's just a really cool build. Walt's definitely doing an amazing job here with his build, and you can see the bigger, taller tower all the way at the very top. But yeah, even this side is already starting to look very, very cool. We do still need to finish the sides, of course, and I think I might be adding a few towers here and there because yeah, we need a lot of towers. Towers is currently what is on the menu, but I did want to show what we've been up to and yeah, what we are working on as a tribe base. I'm quite liking the way it is turning out. We got a different layer here, so yeah, again we have so much space once this base is finished, and then we go up, we have another layer up here. So yeah, definitely plenty of layers to reach. We have the rooftop, of course, so again, lots of space, lots of epic views. And to be fair, the castle does look a little bit bigger than it actually is, because most of this front, as we saw when we took the staircase up, it's actually built right up the cliffside. So a lot of this isn't actual structure, but it's just a cliffside going up. And then from the crafting hall, it's still a pretty steep hill that it goes up. I don't know if there's any way to really show this. Well, you can kind of tell a little bit by the fact that this is where the cliff ends. And then you can see how much higher that final tower is over there. So yeah, there's a lot of height difference, and then you can see how big this cliff is from the all the way down there where the courtyard was. So yeah, there's a lot of layers here that are mostly just to cover the landscape, but it works out in our favor. We get a tall castle without using like a ton of structures, which is really convenient, and we get some really cool builds in the meantime. And I especially am just really happy with the light versus dark theme. I think that's a really cool and interesting way for a base, and of course for us as builders it's also convenient because, well, you can kind of do a little bit of both, right? Like I can do a little Gothic house like I did now, and then help a little bit on the castle, and then build my pagoda, and maybe, you know, work a little bit of this area, adding some nice peaceful tranquil garden somewhere. I don't know, there's a lot of really nice little projects going on here. Tribe base is definitely coming together, and hopefully soon will be fully finished. But yeah, just wanted to show you the progress that we've been making, maybe inspire you if you're working on your own Lost Colony base, because yeah, we have some really cool vibes here that you could definitely use if you're still in doubt or still needing some little bit of ideas or inspirations for something that you're working on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you again in the next video or the next stream. For now, goodbye.